right, Spook. So you head down the street to the smithy. Upon entering, you can see what appears to be a very well built, but probably not a very young gentleman. He has, at one time, had thick black hair. His hair is still thick, but it is mostly graying now. He also has like a thick graying goatee, very much like mine, really. But he has big mutton chops as well. There is a scorching hot furnace ablaze as he is hammering out a piece of iron. Over to the left-hand side, a impressive array of tools, probably for sale. And some rudimentary but fairly basic weaponry can be seen over on the right-hand side of the smithy. Okay, as you walk in, he finishes kind of like hammering out the last of his iron. And as the red glow fades from the metal, he puts it down, wipes his brow, turns around and says, "Good evening, miss. What can I do for you?"
I was told you might need some help.
Well, to be honest, I could certainly use a little bit of help.
I'm afraid I don't have any sort of skill in smithing, but anything that I can be of use to you.
Do you know how to work the bellows?
I just...
You know, bellows, you hold them and you pump them real fast and real hard into the flame to keep the coals bright red.
I can do that.
And can you shovel coal into that wee barret over there and dump it in when needed?
Absolutely.
Well, I can certainly use a little bit of assistance. For that sort of work, I canna pay you much, mind.
Oh, I don't need anything at all.
Oh, really? So you wanting to be more of an apprentice then?
You could say that.
Well, my boy used to work for me, but he left town about a year ago and hasn't returned. So I doubt that's much likelihood that he'll be coming back anytime soon, but at least in his absence, you're more than welcome to work up here with me and learn what you can.
Alright, with that I'm just gonna like walk over. I'm assuming that I don't see the bellows actually.
You can assume that they're laying on the fireside. But with that, he kind of points and says, "Alright, you can start right here. Go on, give it a good blow." As he sticks the piece of metalwork back into the coals and waits for you to kind of...
Blow it.
Alright, so I'm gonna start doing that, and I guess shoveling coal when I need to do that. And...
Alright, do you want to have any... is there anything you want to talk to the guy about while you're doing that, or are you just sincerely just buckling down to work?
Just working.
Alright, well then about 15 minutes after that, in will walk Radovan and Kia.
I just kind of tilt my head as I see Marlo working the forge.
Yeah, so you basically walk in and she's there, and he's like ting ting ting, working his best to hammer out this piece of metal. He says, "Oh, we are busy today. Top of the morning, how you doing? What can I do for you?"
Greetings. I see you have a little Krampus helper going on here.
Krampus?
I give like a look to Kia, kind of like smirk. Sorry, it's from where we're from. It's a term of endearment. I'm sure, at least the way I'm using it now.
I've got a wee lassie helping me with the forge.
Hi, Marlo. Nice to meet you.
Oh, you're acquainted, are you?
She's a traveling companion, a good friend of ours. On a serious mission. But apparently she's helping you, which is great.
That's what I was told to do.
Well, Marlo, we only have until tomorrow morning before we'll be leaving.
I can get a lot done in that time.
He says, so, strangers, I haven't seen any folk dressed like you in a long, long while. That's for sure.
Oh. Have you been a traveler yourself?
Ah, no, I've done very little travelling myself, like.
Well, far to the south, over a couple of mountain ranges, there's a land called Arconis. That is from where, well, my friend Kia and myself, Radovan, and Beecham, although where is Beecham?
Is he with us? No.
I thought he left with us, but I guess he didn't
Beecham's
come in.
probably outside. Sure, thank you for the resub. Spam
Yay!
your pants off and spam your height.
Hey, thank you,
Thanks,
Killer. But that's from where we hail from Arconis, which
It
is...
feels so nice to finally say it.
Yes, we are from Arconis. And my friend Marlo over there is from Fujinami, so...
See you from a long way away then.
Yes, we are here for a
Oh,
very
hey,
a very
donkey.
important task. What?
I'm sorry, what did you say?
I said away on you, donkey, yeah.
Something
means,
about a donkey?
like, you have to be shitting me.
There is no feces involved.
Oh, you just have to excuse the terminology. Obviously, we talk
I
a little
see, I
different
see.
up here than where you're from.
Fair enough.
We heard from from a friend of ours that there was tensions to the east of here, and we're here on behalf of Arconis to see if anything might come of it that would warrant our attention. Concerned citizens, if anything.
What brought you to Scambrook in particular?
Complicated, but we thought maybe going to a bigger town we would convince a few people that there was something to worry about, but looks like that's not happening here.
Well, if you're talking about Murtar Skane and his clan and his ilk, aye, they're a stubborn lot, to be sure. More stubborn than most.
You think? That's good to know.
Well, in our travels through the tundras, we had to travel westward to circumnavigate the nearest mountain range.
Right.
And that brought us to Dunedin. And from Dunedin, we traveled east
Dunedin.
through the
Oh,
forest,
The village of Dunedin. Okay, I understand.
Doo-doo.
and we're
Macallan
traveling
clan.
eastward. Aye, yes. I believe we met your son.
You met him?
Well, we
Brannock?
were told to
Aye,
seek him out.
Brannock.
Yes.
Is he well?
He's alive and well. Well, he wasn't well when we found him, but he's well now.
So, he was sickly then?
He had been taken by some monstrous creatures that lived in a cave. He
Big,
had
white, furry. Kind of like...
yetis.
Yetis. Oh, nasty, filthy creatures, those. I
But
could say I haven't seen one in over a decade, and quite happy for it.
well, we infiltrated their home,
The whole
dispatched
family.
them, and we got Brannock out of there. So he is doing well now.
Did he mention if he was going to be coming home anytime soon?
Mentioned it.
He.
What did he say?
Do you know what happened? Why he left?
I know
I-
what he was accused of, yes. But I'll have none of it.
Well, you do know that he was challenged to a duel, and that he valued his life over the most certainty of dying.
Oh,
in
didn't
said
talk
duel.
a blood of piss, you. You're same as everybody else saying that my Brannock turned tail and run. He never did. No, he didn't.
I'm sorry to say this, but he said it out of his own mouth. It was... he was challenged by apparently the greatest fighter in this village. And he said he didn't stand a chance, so he'd rather stay alive if even in exile.
I didn't believe it. I don't believe a damn word of it. You're full of lies, you. You've been listening to all those others out there, casting aspersions on my boy.
Well, he has a cottage in the northern section of the woods. In the northeastern section of the woods. You do know that, right?
Aye. All I knew is he up and left one morning to find his fortune. Headed west.
Well, we are telling you that that is where he has been living. And when the weather gets nicer, or if you're willing to venture out, you should probably go and visit him.
And, how many days from here, do you say?
Oh, shit, it was like a day,
It
right?
was only, I think so.
He's been living that close for almost a year and hadn't come back and seen his poor old da.
I think he's afraid if he returns here, he would be challenged again. And that is something he's trying to avoid. But he was gracious enough to lead us here. But he did not want to enter the town.
So he led you here and still didn't come and see didn't come and see me. He was right here in town.
He's scared. Sorry to say.
That
Too scared to see his own
swally young
pups.
bastard. You wait till I see him. Give him a right good walloping, that's what I'll do. Disrespect his da like that.
Well, maybe you should go visit him.
Well, maybe I will. Maybe I will.
Don't tell him we sent you, though, please.
Tell him we sent you. Not that we sent you, but that we told you.
Tell him that we
truth.
told you. I feel bad.
Watch out for Yetis.
Well, I kind of say that it was a bad thing to hear that the boy's all right. I'm glad to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Even if you did come in here spreading your wicked rumors and lies like the rest of them.
I'm. That is the last thing we want to do. Believe me, we are getting accustomed to these lands and these customs and these ways, but we are not lying to you. That is not in our nature or purpose.
Well, I'll go and find the bear and ask him myself.
Well, we are actually
I
here.
cannot go the now. These to finish.
We are here because we wish to travel further east, and we do not know we don't know what's around here.
Yeah, are there towns or other cities
Oh, it's a fair
east?
it's a fair donkey's travel for the next town it is. And none the nicest of journeys to make either at this time of year.
What kind of terrain is it? Forest again?
Well, if you're heading east, aye. Definitely be travelling through the forest. But, fair few wee beasties and nasties lurk in that forest, I'll tell you what, especially this time of year.
And
I'd wait till the summer if I were you.
this is a rather time-sensitive thing we're doing. Is it just straight east through this forest, or is there
There's little
directional
to no
cues?
road. You'll have to just head through the trees as best you can. There is a small traveller's trail, apparently in the northern parts of the forest. If you kind of head to the northeast, and you can find her. I didn't know what it is myself, though.
And I imagine it's threats abroad, like anything you'd expect in a forest.
It's
Any?
what?
No, never mind. Any? And this next settlement, what can you tell us about it?
Never been further east than this, but there are a fair few settlements to the east of the lowlands, and if you travel too far north of the forest, you're going to be venturing a little uphill, if you know what I mean.
Oh no.
To the highland.
Hill.
Is that what you speak of?
Into the mountains.
Where the dwarves dwell.
I wouldn't worry about no dwarves if I were you.
The Highlanders.
It's the other clans you want to worry about. You think that the Skeins are rough around the edges. Lowlanders are positively socialites compared to them.
Oh no.
Some of them are barely more than tribes of vagabonds and scavengers. Reavers and ravagers, half of them.
And what's south of this forest? More settlements or just more lands to the mountain range?
You travel much further south, you'll be hitting up against the southern mountains. And there's little to no to be found there.
So it's really just travel east, a little bit northeast, but try to avoid going.
Well, if you want to know where the trails are, you want to talk to Galus. But
Galus.
Galus Skane.
Oh, my
Although
pencil's on the floor.
few around here will acknowledge that she's kin. But kin she is, albeit distant.
And what has happened? What's going on with her?
Well,
That would cause you to lower your voice so much.
half the town, those less skeptical, view Galus as sort of a wise woman. The other half view her as a witch.
Oh.
Tried to burn her alive last summer, they did. If it wasn't for someone coming forward and telling a wee bit of truth that saved her from the flame, they'd have burnt her for sure. As it is, you being strangers, it wouldn't do no good to be seen walking up to Galus's door. You'd cast a dark shadow upon yourselves, so you would.
How about at night?
I'll tell you what. Seeing as you've done me a
What's her
good
bedtime?
turn telling me about me boy. If you stay here, I'll send word and have Miss Galus come here to the smithy this afternoon.
Really?
Aye.
Well,
That's very kind of you, sir. Thank you.
I've known Galus for many a year. I dinna think her a witch. Odd, yes. Strange, for sure. But nae no witch.
What do you consider a witch? I'm curious.
Well, you know, everybody has their own definition of what a witch is.
What's
To
this
me-
town's version?
This town, anyone that can conjure things from thin air or make the weather change or cause a man's, thing to have warts growing upon it.
Wish I could do that. I whisper.
do I hear that, or is my helmet?
Yes,
too?
Let's
hear
just say
that.
it's probably best you didn't and leave it at that.
Okay, because I do have a helmet, which probably blocks a lot of sound.
You really don't want to have heard that, huh?
Okay. Well, we will thank you for this. I guess we should let Beecham know that he could probably go and have something to drink because if he's standing out.
As I said, I can't do it till this afternoon. I've got to finish this. So if you'd like to make yourselves comfortable at the tavern, I'll fetch Miss Galus here and then come a-calling and let you know.
Sure.
Thank
where
you.
do find the merchants in this town?
Merchants, is it? Ain't no merchants here. If you're wanting tools or horses shod or any kind of weapons, I'm your man. Other than that, it's barter and trade the same as ever else. Unless, of course, it's something more particular that you'd be liking, in which case you'd need to go up to the manor and talk to Murtar about it.
Well, the thing is, when we traveled here, we did have a horse, and we had a wagon, and we had gifts for you lovely people, like whiskey and chests full of items and gear. Unfortunately, we had to leave a lot of it because our horse was waylaid by some land-dwelling monster.
Murdered.
As you're talking to him, he's put the hammer down. He's actually gone and he's reached underneath the table in front of him and pulled out a bottle. He pulls the cork off of it and takes a big swig. He looks at you and he says, "Aye, speaking of the whiskey, It was time for a good swally. You want some?
Sure.
No, thank you.
I'm gonna take some.
Radovan won't
swig.
have any either.
I think
I-
you just did.
I just did. And I hand
Okay,
it
he'll
back.
just have one sip, but that's it.
That's all he's allowed. Yes,
We
mother.
have business to attend to.
We have a tavern to go back to.
You need
Oh.
to collect supplies, I thought.
That would be from this guy, this gentleman.
We also need to figure out what the town is called, who lives there. I'm sure somebody knows.
Well, we'll talk about that with Galos, right? When she gets here.
Well, yes, but I feel like we should talk to more people. Don't you want to warn them? We've changed our strategy now, so we need to tell people.
We do have to talk to the McCollum that is at the tavern. That is true.
Yes.
Do you want to travel back to the chieftains? Because that didn't go very well.
No.
We did kind of warn them, but it was in our more cautious way. I don't think being upfront with him will go over any better.
No.
So we'll warn the McCollum lad in the bar, maybe the barman. I don't know.
Okay. Okay.
Maybe see if the dwarves are there, because if they're going back to his home. Maybe.
I hope so.
All right.
All right.
Well, thank you, sir, and we'll be back this afternoon.
Well, as I said, once I fetch Miss Gillis, I'll come bang on the door and let you know she's there. But do yourselves and me a favour and say nothing about your meeting with Miss Gillis if I were you. I want to do you
Sure.
no good.
Marlowe, what's your plan?
I'm gonna help here until he retires for the evening.
Right.
I was going to say,
I'm going to live here now.
I've given up adventuring. I am now a blacksmith's apprentice. It is far more to my liking.
All right, so I'm gonna give a little nod at Marlowe and the guy and leave.
Alrighty. Okay.
Head back to the bar, I guess.
Alright, so Marlowe, you're going to continue to work the forge. And we will revisit our friends in the tavern. Okay.
Okay. Gotta remember some names.
This is the medieval version of Chicken Little.
Alright. When I re-enter, I'm gonna look around. Do I see that dwarf and his wife or his girlfriend?
You do not.
No.
They might have already left, Kia.
Perhaps they are doing something and they'll be back for lunch. Never know. Remain hopeful.
Maybe they're
What about the
making little
McCollum?
dwarf babies up in their
What about
room.
the McCollums?
Do I see the McCollum lad?
No, you do not see him either.
Oh, I thought this was him.
Yes.
Shit. No.
Well, let's sit, I guess. Just us two.
Oh, wait. Hold on. No. We're not going to
No?
sit together. I'm going to walk to the bar.
I'm gonna like stand there stupidly.
You do understand at some point he's going to probably file sexual assault charges, right? Or harassment charges.
I'm going to lean against the table and I'm going to say, excuse me, sir.
Who are you talking to?
The barman.
Okay. With his usual talkative self, he just...
I'm looking to see if the dwarf gentleman or the McCollum sir is in your fine establishment, or if they have gone for good.
The left. Beecham turns around and he says, actually, yes, they left early this morning. The dwarves left, very early, and, the McCullum gentleman not far behind him.
Great. Is there anyone here who's not from this village. Who's an outsider like me. Out of place, strange, but not of my party.
Alright, Beecham kind of spins round and you see him looking and stuff, and the barkeep just looks at you and he says, "They're all skeins here."
Fantastic. I'm going to look very disappointed. Then I gotta turn around and give Beecham like this look. Thank you.
This is, if I'd have known you wanted to converse with the dwarves, I would have mentioned it.
No, Beecham, it's not your fault. It's mine. We just came up with our own revelation, apparently too late, about our plan.
Well, as I said, I just assumed that as they were here yesterday eve, that you might have talked to them if you had planned to. So I thought nothing more of it myself.
Right. Yes, some dynamics shifted yesterday that threw us all through a loop. So it's my fault.
I do recall the discussion and understand that things did not go so well with the chief.
Oh, well, there was that too, yes. I'm just going to kind of lean into that as like that's what I was talking about the whole time.
Did you go back there and check on Marlo? Is she still chopping logs?
No, she's decided to become a forge apprentice.
Billowing a fire right now. She's working
really?
hard.
Well, at least no one will accuse her of being lazy.
Well, she's acting a little bit strange, but I don't understand her culture or anything about it, so
There
I don't know.
Cultural differences that we must endure, unfortunately, are a part of the entire predicament. This accursed northern territory is not the most hospitable places, to be sure.
Right.
You found
We're
our
finding that out the hard way.
That to do. Some whiskey for the table, barman, sir, who's been standing here this entire time, probably listening to everything we've been saying.
He looks at you and he says, "What table?"
The one over there, the point where Kia is sitting.
Slaps a bottle down.
Give the appropriate amount of money back.
Which is?
Which is what, like 8 silver or something?
You tell me.
Whoa! No.
You tell me.
I'm gonna give a gold over and just.
What?
Alright, he takes it,
Ah!
reaches
Oh,
in.
that's right. He gives exact change, doesn't he?
Reaches in and slides you 4 silver pieces back.
See, I was close. I'm gonna take the silver and kind of like nod and take the whiskey back to the table and say, "Beecham, you're welcome to join us."
He looks at you, he says, "Do you want glasses, do you?"
Sure, yeah. Thank you.
Come
Just
in.
drink out of the bottle. Just 2, please.
Right, hands you 2 small glasses.
Take them, give them a little nod, go to the table, sit down, slide a glass over to Akia.
Beecham
Make
looks
room,
rather
Beecham.
disappointed. He's, "Oh,
I thought you had a glass at your
I
table.
thought you wanted to sit next to the fire.
oh no, I just wrongfully assumed that the second glass was for myself. But no, that's fine. I can fetch a glass." And Beecham gets up and goes to the bar and returns with his own glass and slides it in front of Radovan. If
Sorry,
you,
Beecham.
I wouldn't mind.
Yes, I'm going to pour him a little bit extra whiskey in his glass than mine and Kia's. And put it in the middle
And he
between
holds
us.
it up to the light and swirls it around a little bit. And says, "I personally have preferred darker liquor, to be honest. But at least this stuff warms you against the cold."
I like them as light as they come.
So, this afternoon we are going to be fetched to return to the forge. where we're going to meet someone who is possibly less popular than us.
Is there such a person here in this town?
Well, they consider her a witch. And I'm going to definitely lower my voice when I say this.
Alright.
I'm curious what they mean by witch.
Well, suffice it to say, let's not say that word anymore and just move on.
Oh, why did I do plus 12? I didn't mean to do that.
Oh no.
Oh, I didn't. Okay. Oh, I just hadn't scrolled the dice pane down. That's better. Alright, okay.
Oh, I hate when I do that.
When you do what?
When I don't scroll down and I look at the roll and I'm like, this doesn't make sense.
Right.
Anyway, this person knows the land to the east, and it's going to be like balancing on the tip of a sword in terms of not going too far south and not going too far north, utilizing old trails and stuff
Oh, I see.
to get to the next village.
Well, never hurts to have a guide.
Is that you? Do you know this area?
Not at all,
Oh,
no.
Okay.
I thought you were saying that this person we're going to meet was going to be a guide, as you said they knew the trails and
Oh.
such.
I mean, perhaps. We don't know yet.
Oh, well, hopefully that will be a more productive meeting than the ones we have had so far here in Scanebrook.
I hope so. This has been awful.
He says, well, when we sat back in Rockhelm, I did warn you of the hostile nature of these folks.
I know you did, but I guess
I know it's
I-
a bit takes some getting used to firsthand. But never mind. We're all alive, for the most part.
I guess so. You're right.
As well, then.
New plan, new results.
Maybe
Sure.
we'll have a spot of lunch and a couple of drinks and await your meeting.
Okay.
Let's do
Are you
just
sure you
that.
don't want to go do something on your own? Also asking.
I wouldn't mind a brisk walk.
Okay.
And he up and wanders out.
Did you?
Huh?
Nothing. Let's just get food and eat and wait.
Okay.
And I guess we'll have to fill Marlo in fully on our discussion earlier. We didn't really do that, but she seems so focused.
Yeah, I don't want to distract her from her work.
All right. Well, speaking of work, so as you work the smithy, once he is finished working on the ironwork that he is currently working on, he looks at Marlo and he says, "Right, feel free to stay here, and I'm going to go fetch Miss Galis and your friends. Or, if you'd like, while I go get Miss Galis, you could go and pop over to tavern and let them know that we're on our way."
Sure, I'll do that.
All right then, I'll meet you back here. Okay. So is that what your plan is, to head over there and fetch them? Okie dokie.
Yes.
Yes. Alright, so you guys have spent several hours kind of just...
It probably got awkward around minute 5, and then the rest was just like silence and drinking. That's my guess, anyway.
That's pretty safe. Beecham probably returns by then, right? I mean,
no, he has not yet.
Definitely awkward then.
brisk walk for 2 hours? What kind of brisk walk is that?
Perhaps he's up to something no good.
Well, I mean,
Hey guys,
Marlo.
hey, the blacksmith
Filthy.
went to fetch. Yeah. The blacksmith went to get the person you wanted to talk to.
Oh, okay. Is it that time already? It's I feel like Whew. Great. Perfect. Thank you.
I'm gonna get up and be looking for Beecham. Clearly not seen him.
Right, he is not in the tavern, no.
Well, I'm gonna get back. I don't want the coals to get cold.
I'm following you quickly. I'm coming.
All right. So
They
they
go
out the door.
I'm gonna go outside and look. What's the weather like actually this day?
It is
75 and sunny.
Yeah, not in this friggin' hole. It isn't. Out on the streets of Scanebrook, it's not snowing, but of course it is still cold. It's kind of like a very crisp winter's morn still. Well, actually, it's no longer winter's morn. Midday.
And I don't see Beecham anywhere, do I?
From where you are, no.
All right, I'm gonna quickly dip back into the tavern to let the barman know that the man who sits at the corner of the bar, who's been with us, who we've seen me with, is to go to the forge when he returns.
Okay.
I'm just gonna let him know, and then I'm gonna offer a couple copper pieces to see if he accepts it.
He actually does take it.
And I'm gonna nod and say thank you, sir. So I'm gonna leave and head to the forge.
Okay. All right. You flee across to the forge, back to the smithy. All right. So by the time you get back there, you will arrive before they will.
Okay.
So you get back in there, and Marlowe is probably over there working the bellows and keeping the coals hot and just shoveling fresh coal in.
Marlowe?
Yes?
We were going to mention this to you earlier, but you were busy helping him out. We have decided to make life easier on us, hopefully, by being just forthcoming and honest about where we're from and what our purpose is.
Oh, thank God. I was terrible at lying. As you can see, I actually kind of wasn't.
Yes, we were dumb for trying to hide our true selves in this place, and I am sorry for any awkwardness I put you through. I'm not going to apologize on behalf of the people, but
I didn't really understand what the point of not telling them why we were here was.
it was.
I don't know either.
It was Beecham's suggestion that they would especially not warm to us if we claimed to be from where we claim to be from.
Well, it was going to be obvious we weren't from here.
True, and that was our folly, I think. So from now on, we're going to be upfront. We're going to warn people in the villages we go to about what's going on, what we suspect is going on, as we travel further eastward to actually find out what's going on.
There might be times we'll have to run. Apparently, they don't like magic around here.
I just have to run on occasion.
Well,
while
we had to get out of town.
While you are waiting for the smithy and Miss Galis to return, I think that's a perfect time for us to take a short break. You guys, you've all gotten back in here. It's nice and warm and toasty inside the smithy. About 20 minutes later, you see your friendly smith come through the door with a huge, big, sack-covered person. Like he's literally taken one of the sacks that some of the coal came in, and it is draped over what appears to be a humanoid figure moving in behind him. Okay, once she gets in, she throws the sack off.
Wow.
And the stereotypical representation of why they think that this woman was a witch possibly comes to mind. She is hunched over. Galis is probably in her late 60s, possibly early 70s. She is very scraggly, very unclean. She has like rags wrapped around her hands with just her fingertips showing. It looks like part of her arm, like when you... as she kind of moves around, you can, as her robe like drifts up towards her elbow at times because it's ill-fitting, you can see severe burn marks on her left forearm that are kind of like attempting
Jeez.
to be wrapped up. They're not recent burns, but they are old scars.
Hello.
She walks in, and with that, he shuts the door and bolts it behind him. He says, "These are the strangers I mentioned to you, Miss Galis." And she kind of like looks around rather nervously.
I'm gonna approach and hold out my hand to be shook, like it, you know.
She shrinks away from you with her hands.
Oh.
He says, "Oh my, she's
Awkward wave going
No.
on after that.
not one for touching."
That's fine. Nice to meet you. My name is Keeliana.
Okay, she kind of turns and looks at you. Then she kind of moves in close, and she starts like dipping as she's
What
kind
are
of
you so
circling
curious
you, and
about?
she's sniffing you. She's like,
What you smell? I do have a cat. I'm sorry if I smell a little bit like a cat.
"All right." Okay, Cal like pops his head out and looks at her, and you see her like staring at him. And he's like, the two of them are like,
Oh,
locked.
I'm gonna say telepathically, can you hear her?
He says, "No, but I can smell her. She stinks."
Of what?
Stench, decay, rot.
Oh no,
Doesn't
perhaps
smell
she's
very-
not the right type of witch we're looking for.
These are not the witches you're looking for.
I just thought of that.
Okay. And she kind of like turns around, and then she goes over to Radovan and doesn't like walk around him smelling him, but she's eyeballing him very closely.
Do you need glasses?
And then she does the
Squinting
same
a
to
lot.
Marlowe. She goes over and starts squinting and looking at her very closely. Ironically, it probably isn't a bad assumption that she is very short-sighted. The way she is kind of squinting and getting remarkably close to your face is like she's trying to get a good look. And then
I'm
with
just
that,
gonna smile.
she goes over and stands back next to the smithy. And he says, they're heading east through the forest. I mentioned that you might know where the path was. You know, the one that leads over the bridge, the river, to the river. And she kind of looks and she says, "Why are you going to the east?"
Oh my god, she's a fucking witch. Let's burn her.
"Why are you going to the east?
We
You're strangers."
We have an important message to get across, and we also seek information and clarity on an issue.
Information, is it? What kind of information are you looking for?
Rumors
knows
of
many things.
rumors of conflict between the Valkyrie and the Highlanders and Lowlanders.
When you say that, she spits on the floor. She's like, she like literally leaves a huge, big, nasty black glob of phlegm on the ground. Seeing that, the blacksmith kind of puts his boot on it and smears it into the ground.
This conflict we feel could possibly threaten our homeland, and we want to measure the severity of it.
Galis has looked upon the runes. I have seen many deaths. Many, many deaths.
Who's dying?
It is hard to know. I do not see faces. Galis only sees graves. Wolfwin, thanks for follow. Many graves. But there is no snow. These graves are bathed with sunlight.
No snow?
No snow. Oh, shit.
Awesome.
Are these things that you feel will happen or that have happened? You see where we come from, well, where Kia and myself come from, we did just come from a war not a year ago. Where
These
people
are
did die.
things that will transpire, but haven't transpired as yet.
How are you seeing these things?
Obviously,
She looked at the
divination.
runes.
I read the runes.
What runes can
Ye
you show
yourself cannot read the runes. I sense an air of something magical about you.
me? I wouldn't mind giving it a shot.
Kia,
I just would like to see them.
you're not a diviner, Kia.
I know I'm not, but I'm just curious.
Well, we don't know what Alkia can do. She was born with a lot of weird powers.
That's true, it's just in me. Maybe I can read runes.
Just say it like that, sure. And this is undoubtedly why you are not a friendly face in this with these townspeople. Your ability to see things that
They
haven't
don't like
transpired.
the truth.
What?
They're suspicious of the things that they didn't understand.
Story of our lives. Tell me, how did you learn this art of divination?
I am what you might call a hedge mistress.
What?
A hedge mistress.
Is that like a sorceress?
No, it has to do with bushes.
I don't think so, Marlo. Can I do like an Arcana check or something to see if I have any idea?
I'll
what
give
that
you a
means?
knowledge arcana check.
Okay.
If you were from here, you could definitely make a local knowledge, but you're not, so that's not going to
Yeah.
happen.
Oh,
You have probably never heard that term before, as it happens.
okay.
I know I haven't, so I'm...
Please tell us.
Or are you a wizard, perhaps? Wizard might
Nay,
be
a
more-
wizard. I told you, I am a hedge mistress.
Just
what
trying
does
to
that
just...
mean?
I'm sorry, I'm just trying to discern the nature of your powers.
My
Like where they
powers.
come from.
Well,
Are they instilled
from the
opinion?
ground. From
So like a
nature
druid.
itself. Nay, I am no druidess. I am a hedge mistress.
Okay.
I can't even give you any out of character information on that. Google doesn't know what the hell a hedge mistress is.
The joys of homebrew.
Well,
Well, can I see these runes you speak of?
I don't have them with me. They're back at my cottage. If you'd like to come back to my cottage with me, I would more than happily show you how to cast runes, mistress.
Perhaps during the night time, so no one will,
But I learned the craft of the hedgerows from my mother, and her from her her mother before her.
Interesting.
Butterbean, thanks for the follow, buddy.
perhaps another time. I'm going to give Kia this look like.
Right. So, back to what's at hand.
Yes,
I
we...
wish to know how to find the trail. The trail to
More
the river.
Well, yes, but you also mentioned graves. I'm curious more about that now.
I saw it in the vision. As I said, many graves, bathed by the sunlight.
No snow. Did you perhaps see an ocean in the background?
These were not near the oceans.
Oh, God.
They were on fertile soil. The soil of Mother Earth.
So these graves, did you happen to see any symbols upon them, or insignias, or
Each grave was marked with little more than a wooden marker. These were graves dug en masse to bury many fallen.
Okay, so can I do a local knowledge check? Because after the war, I imagine I learned all the people who died in the mass graves, like how the manner they were buried.
I'll allow you a local knowledge check in regards to if there's any relevancy with that to Arconus, but it wouldn't
That's what I'm talking
necessarily
about.
apply
Yeah.
here. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if there's any familiarity of like burial practices or.
Okay, go for it. I mean, the only thing you could gather is, like, in relation to the war that you guys fought in the war, any bodies that were not claimed would have been pretty much buried in unmarked graves. Many
like in mass.
in the war. There's many died in the woods. In the wars themselves. A lot of them probably never even saw it to a grave. So.
Okay. The only thing I can take from this, Kia, is that what Beecham said has the chance of coming true, and it means our travel eastward is all the more pressing.
But how far into the future is this?
As I told you, it was bathed in sunlight.
That doesn't tell me how far into the future that is.
Can you not tell the time by the weather? You do not
What?
know the time of year when the sun melts the snow.
Summertime? And I go, oh!
Yeah, but this could be summertime a year from now, or this next summer.
Right. But why don't we just assume it's just this summer to give us a deadline?
And all the more haste is required then.
Fertile soil. Aren't they fighting over fertile ground?
Well, that's to the east, but there's snow, I imagine, further eastwards.
Till the summertime.
Does snow melt ever fully here? Like in the
I-
fertile grounds?
You're here in the lowlands during the winter time. Around here, quite often. Once it gets down to, the days becoming shorter, the snow usually melts, and we have a summer.
So,
Dragonspooker, thank you for hosting.
if this vision she claims is accurate and true, and it is pertinent to here,
Hey, what's up, Snowball?
this
How you doing, buddy?
lands. Do you bury your people with unmarked wooden graves en masse? Is that a custom here?
No. When our kin die, we put them to rest properly. Families take care of their dead.
And the and I'm going to look at the black stain that was spit into the ground, and the Valkyrie, are they likewise?
I know not much of the Valkyrie.
Okay. So
Great.
I guess this.
As long as you're telling the truth and you're not crazy.
So it's all the more likely that
Different
this
topic,
vision pertains to the lands to the east that we're trying to get to. They're fertile, and bloodshed would be spilled for it. Why it would be unmarked graves is the question.
Too many to mark.
They're unrecognizable. Or there's some other threat that's looming. Well, I guess we have our deadline, right?
Well, according to her, anyway. Still wish I knew if this was credible information. I'd love to see her cast these runes.
Well, divination is tricky.
Can't you tell if she's lying?
I didn't
Well,
exactly.
she could be telling you could be telling the truth, ma'am, but your
The truth,
truth.
the truth is a very subjective thing. I only tell you what I see may occur and what might come in the future. Whether it does come to pass depends on many things. Not everything I see comes to pass.
So it can be changed.
Aye.
Is there a reason why you still live in this town when you are so ostracized? Trying to be gentler than hated.
It is true. I am not well thought of here in Scanebrook, but an old woman would not do well in the freezing cold by herself. There are still one or two of the kin that still see me as worthwhile.
Well, would you be interested? We could help accompany you to the next town over.
I have no wish to go to a place where I am not known.
So you
Why?
like being hated, as Kia so delicately put it?
It is not about being hated. As I said, at least here I have one or two friends. In a fresh town, I would have none. My nature is what it is as a hedge mistress. It is not something I can hide. In a new town, suspicions would soon be cast.
How rare are hedge mistresses in this area?
I know of no others except me and my mother before me, and her mother before her.
Okay.
And those wounds on your body, was that from
As you
this
say
town?
that, she kind of like immediately instantly covers herself up. She says,
Pay ye no mind.
Because I can possibly mend those scars. Well, that's real scars. Any ailments that may afflict you.
It is time for me to go.
She don't want to look pretty again, Radavan.
she says,
My
Wait,
covenant,
you haven't,
please.
and she picks up the sack and puts it over her head.
ma'am, you haven't told us how to get through the forest.
Okay, she goes to push him aside, and he moves. And then as you say that, as she's literally about to unbolt the door, she kind of like glances back and looks at you, and she says,
Can you smell the waters?
Huh?
No.
I think it's a euphemism. Let's see, water could be...
Perhaps Cal can, whatever that means.
The waters? You mean like the rivers?
Aye. Can you smell the waters?
Cal, can you spell the waters?
Cal looks at you and he says, sometimes I can smell the fish.
Kind of.
I can't know. I can hear the waters, and I can see them if I come across them.
Well then, the best I hope for ye is to travel to the east and then travel north.
But we
When
were
do
told
we
that.
turn north?
Yeah.
Travel north against the tree line of the forest
Okay.
until you see the old track road.
Okay.
You'll find what appears to be a ruined cart. Covered in snow, no doubt.
What is it really?
Ruined cart.
It appears to be a ruined cart.
Ruined cart. And then what? What do we do with it?
Am I reading too much into what she's saying? I'm going to stop. I'm just going to start shoveling coal again.
Okay. And then what?
When you see the cart, afore it, you'll see the road. Such as it is.
And then follow the road? And it'll lead us straight there?
I don't know where that is. You asked where
We are-
the track was, where the road was. I've told
We're
you.
trying to go to the next settlement of lowlanders to the east of here.
Then
Trying to
we
avoid the
needed to travel
Highlanders.
through the forest.
So not north of the forest line, as you said. Just straight through the forest, east?
As I said, travel east. And then once you get to the forest tree line, travel north until you see the snow-covered cart.
Okay, well,
And then
And then
travel
follow-
east again.
okay. I don't know, Redfin. We'll look for the ruined cart, and
Of
then that's the
course.
end.
You
It
can
is.
just travel straight through the forest eastwards. But then, you brought me here to tell you where the track was, did you not?
We
Yes,
did.
Thank
and
you. The track should lead us somewhere.
Thank
Do
you.
you know? Okay, thank you.
If you have another question, feel free to
no,
ask.
no, I already asked it. I forgot. All right.
With that, she snatches open the bolt and
Wait.
flees out the door.
No, what? Oh.
The smithy looks at you and he says,
I did tell you she's a strange one.
And I say, what's a headmistress? Hedge mistress.
I didn't know. I know what she is. Her and her mother used to, most of the time would be spent travelling up and down the hedgerows, picking herbs and plants and stuff, studying nature and things.
Do you trust her?
Do I trust her?
Yes, you.
Well, I've never had cause to doubt her, but at the same time, I've never put any faith in anything she's ever said to me because I've never asked her anything.
I guess what we need now is supplies if we're going to travel. Obviously, probably would be asking too much for a horse and wagon of some sort, but anything that we could use to survive outside in the freezing cold. Dig into the ground, erect a tent, stay warm.
About the most I can offer you is as much coal as you wish to carry.
You said you were one of the two merchants in this town, did you not?
I did, and I told you too. If it was rudimentary weapons or tools that you'd be wanting, or a horse shod, I could help you.
Or shod.
Trade and barter.
Otherwise, that's it. Find who has what it is that you want, and see what they're willing to trade or sell it for.
Great.
Any suggestions of people in town that would
Did I
be
know what you want?
things to survive in the freezing cold outside?
Well,
Dig into the grounds, erect a tent.
if you want a shovel, I can sell you that.
Okay.
As
Yes,
for
please.
a tent, I didn't think anyone's going to be able to sell you a tent.
Well, I do have a tent, actually. I was just...
You seem to have plenty of warm clothing.
Yes.
Would we need any more?
Food and drink you can get from the tavern.
Food and drink won't be an issue. I can provide.
So, what else is it you'd be wanting?
I guess I don't know. Are we ready? What do we need?
I guess we are ready, and in a way, we are ready. It's just not...
It's
worried
like
about
we
running
want
out.
to be better ready, but we're really not going to be,
Right.
probably.
Because this is a whole new territory for Radapan, so he doesn't quite know what to ask for. He
I think
just
we'll be
kinda
okay,
has this.
Radovan. We got fire. I have fire. You have food.
Okay. And,
Are we
Um,
still walking then? I'm okay with it, but
Yeah, we're gonna have to walk
Yeah, he looks. He says,
through the forest.
as for a horse, he said, if you can find anybody willing to part with a horse, you can expect to be paying a pretty penny for it.
Yeah, sounds like we're walking.
oh, should I have been asking for money?
What? Money? Asking? No.
I didn't think that was our goal. So I've been telling people I didn't want money.
Have people been offering you money?
Yeah, there was
Yes.
this one guy that was willing to pay for all kinds of things. You know,
Should have taken the money, Marla.
coal,
Could have used
bellows
it.
blowing.
I thought our goal was to show everyone that we weren't bad.
taking money is not a bad thing necessarily.
Yeah, especially if you earn it.
As
But
I said,
I was trying
willing
to earn
pay the
other
loss.
things.
Okay.
What? Okay. I
Okay.
think
So
we're fine.
you'll buy a shovel from you, good sir.
I'll tell you what. Under the circumstances, I'll gift you the shovel in exchange for the services that the young lass has provided me this morning.
Oh, there you go, Marlo. Thanks.
How about
Yay, I got us a shovel.
and how about this? An offer from me to you in good faith. Give me a message, 25 words to send to your son, and I will get that message to him. But it has to be short and to the point. He will know it's from you, and he maybe will, but
Jonathan,
think of...
thank you for Jonathan, thanks for the follow, man. He looks at you and he says, "All right."
Oh shit, do I have to write this down, do I?
This is your da. Where have you been, ya wee bastard? You come to Scanebrook and never come to see me, you wee shite.
This is your dad. This is your da.
What? Don't make him repeat it.
No, it's a good message. I want to make sure he gets it in time. Please, one more time. This is your da.
This is your da. Where have you been, ya wee bassa? You come to Scanebrook and never even come to see me or come by, ya wee shite.
Okay. I
Yes,
will
thank you
get.
for the follow, buddy.
I will. He will receive that message.
Well, I very much appreciate it.
I make no promises that he will respond or follow through.
But he'll definitely get it.
But he'll definitely get it.
Hey, when I see that boy of mine,
You'll hug him probably, and then punch him.
I probably punch him and then hug him.
That's fine too.
I'm gonna walk up to him and hold out my hand as to be shook. If that is a thing they do here.
Well, if you've noticed, they tend to do the forearm grab.
Well,
So
I
he
will
locks
do- I-
forearms with, and it's like even in his age, you can still feel like his forearms are like tree trunks. I mean, obviously, decades of just hammering steel has left him with severely strong arms. He says, "Well, I appreciate all you have done, bringing word of me by. Y'all be careful not to run into any reavers."
What? Reavers. Oh, reavers.
Reavers, aye.
Vagabonds. Yes. I hope that's what you mean.
And you'll be warned that, as I said, the forest to the east, mighty inhospitable, so they are.
Well, we will be careful. And
Yes. We'll
Thank
keep an
you.
eye out.
Don't you get caught with your bum out in the wind.
That never happens.
Well, here is your shovel.
To keep our
Marlo?
bums out of the wind.
Marlo, the shovel
As
is
I
yours.
said, if you want some coal, you're welcome to it. Just grab a sack and fill it as much as you like.
I think it might just weigh us down, but thank you. Unless you guys want some.
I'm gonna get a small sack of coal just in case we need it
Okay.
for whatever reason.
think about it.
And I guess I have a shovel and a
Yeah.
axe that was used by a dude who died. No.
You basically have a hand axe, a shovel, and a small bag of coal, indeed. The amazing things you can acquire in the town of Scanebrook.
Wow.
No wonder this is such a populace of local trade and a hive of activity. All right, okay.
So, yes, we're going to go back to the tavern, waste away the rest of the day, and head out the following day, right? Because
All right.
it's like
so
on the
you
late
want to head
now,
out bright and early
Yeah.
the following morning?
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's still morning now. Oh no! We waited.
It was
for the black-
afternoon when you met with him,
Okay.
yeah. So it's
Yeah,
only. I mean, it's
tomorrow.
late morning. Oh, sorry, it's a bit like mid to late afternoon by the time
Okay.
you get back here. But
Last time we got a warm bed for a while. No.
by the time you're back, Beecham has returned, and he is
His
in the
brisk
tavern.
2-hour walk.
Tell Beecham the details and that we're leaving in the morning.
So I go over there and say, that was some walk you did. Beecham."
Yeah, it's
Oh,
good enough walking as it is.
I went and made some inquiries and looked into a few things.
Okay.
Find out anything that we could use? Would be useful?
Actually, I was trying to acquire possibly a pony or a donkey or something like that.
Good luck.
I have found somebody willing to sell us a mule. Just
How
the
much?
one. Well, the price is fairly steep for such an animal.
Shoot.
Over twice the going rate, I'm afraid. 125 gold, which is absolute daylight robbery for such an animal.
Honestly, it would probably die. I don't want to do that to it.
I wouldn't think it good for riding, but at the very least, it would have been better for carrying things so that we didn't have to lug so much around.
Yes, but I still.
Oh, and I did manage to acquire this.
125.
And he shows you, he's got what looks like a shoulder bag hanging from his side.
Nice purse. Okay. Great. Thank you.
He said, yes, one of the local lassies is a bit of a seamstress, and she made this carrying bag. It appears to be fairly bulky. It's like he's got it bulged out with stuff in there.
Well, we have a direction and we have some landmarks to pursue that'll get us to our next destination, I guess.
Oh, well, that's good, I suppose. Are you ready?
We plan to leave by tomorrow morning, so we don't get caught out in the cold night.
Oh, yes, quite.
Yeah, wouldn't want our bums out in the wind.
Should we tell the barkeep about the conflict? Perhaps rumor will spread even if they don't believe us yet.
I haven't had much luck with him, but you're welcome to try, Kia. Maybe you'll warm to your
Okay,
pretty
sure.
face.
Excuse me. Hi. What's your name? I'd like to see if there's like a ring on his finger.
What's my name?
Mm-hmm.
My name's Duff.
Duff?
Duff
my-
Skeen.
Duff Skeen? My name is Kia Liana. Hello.
Hello. Do you want something?
No, I just want to pass on some information about conflict up in the Northeast to just warn your crowd about.
Tell whoever you want.
I was
I
hoping
didn't
you
care.
could. We are leaving tomorrow morning. Thought maybe you could spread the word.
Fair enough.
It's the Valkyrie versus the Highlanders, the Lowlanders.
Fair enough.
You're not gonna do it, are you? You think I'm crazy, huh?
I quite honestly don't have much of an opinion of anybody.
Oh.
I just serve the drinks and cart the food backwards and forwards.
Bit vacant, are you?
Just
Okay,
don't see the point of running my mouth.
that's fair.
Plenty of people
Sometimes-
do an awful lot of talking and not enough listening. I prefer to listen twice as much as I speak.
Well, just know that there could be a conflict between the factions regarding territory, and we're worried.
Fair enough.
Alright, that was great. Bye. They like walk away as I pass around him and say, Nat. I'm done. Didn't work.
As Keo walks by, I'm just gonna look at Beecham and say, "Your diplomat's at work." It's
He's a simpleton.
He says, yes, I'm glad we're staying tonight, though. Earlier on, I saw them slaughtering a cow out back. I do believe that there might be some, roast beef on the menu this evening. Possibly some steaks.
Great.
Let's enjoy what we can while we can, because the food over the next few days is probably going to be quite bland but nourishing.
Oh, yes.
I look forward to it.
Your
Sir
famous
Radovan.
feasts.
Yes, not quite as delicious as the one with the dwarves, but it'll get the job done and keep us at least alive.
Well, I've spent many a months at sea myself and lived on little more than salted beef and pork and fish and oranges, so I'm sure anything that you can provide is something that I'm willing to consume.
You're welcome to join us back at the table for the rest of the evening, and
He says, yes, let's enjoy the comforts of this meager establishment and at least have a good night's sleep.
Alright.
All
And
right.
that's what we do.
Alright, so yeah, you guys managed to get a good, hearty, delicious cooked meal, as many drinks as you want. As you go to pay for it, Beecham is like, oh no, please, I've got this. And he throws 2 gold pieces on the
Woohoo!
table.
Rich man.
yeah, we're just going to enjoy the evening.
Alright, okay. So bright and early then, the following brisk morn, you awaken and you can make your way out of Scanebrook
Into danger.
into...
Now, do we get endure elements for this journey?
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, does anybody want to begin the day by casting any spells or doing anything particular? Obviously, you guys are wrapped up head to foot in your thick winter's furs, hands covered, hoods over your heads and stuff to keep the winds from you. It's actually not that windy today. It's probably only blowing about 20-ish miles an hour. So it's cold as always, but there's no snow or frost in the air. Just the wind blowing down off the mountains that you can see far to the north.
So I
Northeast.
do cast Create Food and Water,
Okay.
just so everybody has food to speak of, and I can't cook them. But yes, I cast.
It's okay. You don't need to
Yeah.
click it.
And I'm going to be doing that every day,
Okay.
just so we have sustenance and we don't have to carry food and water, basically.
All right. Okay, so here is the map of the northern peninsula. So you guys in chat, you can see where Scanebrook is, and they will be traveling pretty much eastwards towards this little woodland area, or this little forest that nestles to the south of a mountain range where the highlands are. So that's kind of where, in theory, they will be traveling. Okay. So you put your feet underneath you, and it's only about, as I said, it's only about 3 miles to the forest. You've been here once already. You cut a tree down here. So it's not that far to get to that. Once you get to the forest edge, do you want to try to just plow straight through it, or do you want to take the information given to you by Galus and follow it northwards along the tree line, looking for a more amicable place to travel through?
What?
I think we should follow her suggestion,
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. All right.
because I don't want to get lost in the forest. There's a path we can travel without encountering the Highlanders. Let's maybe we'll get lucky.
Alrighty. Okay. So you travel about 4 to 5 hours northwards. And eventually you see very clearly what it was she was talking about. Yeah, most of it is covered in snow, but you can see kind of like a large mound of snow with like wooden sides to it. If you can imagine pretty much a dilapidated cart with two of the wheels missing, laying on its side. Snow is brushed all the way up on the side of it, like in a snowdrift. But you can still see, the two wheels jutting out of the snow and the wooden paneling from the right-hand side of the cart. Now, where that cuts into the woods, you can see that there is actually what looks like two cart ruts, like dug into the ground. So clearly at some point, this has been used for travel. There's about a 10-foot wide gap between the trees, and it kind of snakes and winds its way into the forest. Much of this forest, like the other forest that you've been through here recently in this area, the trees are dense, but the foliage is all gone. They're pretty much just frosty branches, so you've got reasonably good visibility through the trees at this point.
So what time of day is it at this point?
As I said, it probably took you about an hour to get to here, and it's about 3 to 4 hours, so it's a little bit past midday.
Okay, so I'm actually going to use this time, because it's midday, I hope the guys are awake. I'm going to cast a sending spell to Brannick.
Okay.
And I'm going to say, this is your da, where have you been, you wee bassa? You come to Scanebrook and never see me. Come by, you wee shit. Wee shites.
All right. Okay.
And then I'm going to...
And you deliver your sending spell.
I deliver my sending spell to Brannick.
Awesome. Can he respond? I forgot.
He can.
He can respond, yeah.
If he chooses to.
If he knows what the fuck's happening. Probably just think of it as some sort of guilt trip that he just brought upon himself. All right. Okay.
So and then I'm going to look at everybody and I'm going to point at the path and say, shall we?
Well, question. Are there any precautions we should be taking in here?
Oh, you mean like...
order
of people? Who's in front?
Strategy, yes.
Marlo, any ideas?
I've just been winging it so far. It seems to be working for me, so...
You've almost died twice.
Yeah, I wouldn't call getting thrown off a cliff and getting grabbed by a Yeti being successful.
But I didn't die.
But you almost did.
Almost died.
If the goal was to not die, she was 100% successful at not dying.
My point, Marlo,
what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
What doesn't kill you
we almost died.
Okay.
We almost died in the Yeti cave all together. Kia was smacked by the Yeti after it burst through her wall of fire. I was low at some point. We were hurting.
I wouldn't have let you die.
But maybe we should try not to be so gung-ho, maybe? And I'm going to kind of wince as I say it, bracing for a smack or a punch. Look at Marlo.
There's no other way to do things.
As you walk in, Beecham is like, yes, I'm quite glad I got to stay in the log cabin when you found the Yetis. I dare say I would have been more in the way than anything else.
Perhaps we can just come up with a standard rule, Marlo. Before you run in, let me at least maybe get one attack off, and then you can run in.
But what if it's grabbing you?
Well, this is generally, if it's killing me, please help me. Don't let it tear me apart.
Look, how about this? If we're entering somewhere that's dangerous, you can turn Cal invisible and have him scout ahead and tell you what we're going to be encountering, so nothing jumps out at us. Marlo,
I can convince him.
He's your familiar. Strong arm him if you have to. It's life or death. Because otherwise, Marlo and I will stay together in the front. Mm-hmm. Beecham will stay. You'll be behind us, and Beecham will bring up the rear, obviously with an ever-present gaze backwards in case we're getting flanked.
I'm very good at watching my back, I can assure you of that. I've spent
Well-
a number of years perfecting that little talent.
And then that way, if something jumps out at us or swarms us, you're surrounded and safe, and Marlo and I are dealing with whatever we're dealing with or can deal with, and worst case, I'll be the one to go on the flank of things, so if I have to cast a spell, I might not get hits and won't have to focus and fight through the pain, because I tend to do that quite a bit, and it's not always easy.
I've seen
Failed
you
a few
fight
times.
entire armies. You've always
So
succeeded.
that was after I was ready. You said you could trap things in the, and yes, we got to keep moving because I'm getting a little cold here.
Okay, we'll start walking.
You said
I
you could
can't trap
force-
giant monsters. It has to be, human size.
Right, and those big things. What we got to do is do what we did to that thing that killed the horse. Is all get it at once, right? Flank it, freeze it, deal with it in one or two rounds, 1 or 2 seconds or whatever. Yeah, it's cold. Let's
Okay, don't you have endure elements on yourself?
It's the worst case scenario. Let's just move. When I was walking, I was okay, but we stopped to
Fine.
talk, so
We're walking.
we're gonna keep going.
All right. Okay.
I'll take middle.
All right, so you travel along the path. It's not that far down along the pathway, and you come across what appears to be a small brook or stream or river.
Did you smell it?
So what is your marching order, Radovan? Who was at front?
I'm up front with Marlo. Kia's behind us, and Beecham is bringing up the rear.
Is that river running?
Okay, so you can hear it running. Now,
Whoa.
you can see, in these little areas where it's kind of like the water is gathered up around rocks and this fallen tree, it is actually frozen. But there is a winding, running section that is, cutting its way through that.
Okay.
And you can see a small kind of stone-sided wooden bridge that crosses
Okay.
the stream. Distance-wise, it's not but
Okay.
about 20 feet across the bridge itself. The river itself is little more than probably, at best, just over 10 foot wide. So it's nothing huge.
Okay.
I take out my shield, but not my weapon, as I approach.
Okay.
Well, it's
You know what your movement rates are, so move yourselves your movement
definitely-
distance.
I want to search or be cautious of things coming out of the water or out of the trees around this area.
Okay.
And listen.
Alright.
I want to listen very closely to anything.
Okay. Give me a listen check then, please, Miss Liana.
Yes. JKL. There it is. Wow.
That was
I rolled
awesome.
a 1.
A 1.
Guys, I did bad. That's all you need to know. I hear Cal purring, and that's it.
You can hear the running of the river. It has a weird sound to it, though. It almost sounds like something is moving in the water towards you, like coming down south. Not just the river itself, but you keep hearing some kind of lapping sound, like.
Okay.
that makes-
Guys, stop. Something's in the water. I hear it.
it's it's below freezing. What are you talking about?
Well, the water's running and something's in it. I think it's gonna get us. What can we do?
Wait.
Ooh, I know. And
Fireball the bridge?
yes, no. I cast freezing sphere, which if you cast it on water, it'll freeze it, I think.
It will.
Yeah. Like, that way
Alright.
I'll stay trapped.
So you're show me whereabouts you're casting it. Like, ping
Okay.
what area of water you
I'll
want to
be
throw it.
casting it probably around
Hey,
here.
Jeep, thanks for that cheer, my friend. Appreciate it. All right, so you cast it just to the left of the bridge.
Yes.
All right. Okie dokie. And I do believe...
Freezes the liquid to a depth of 6 inches over an area equal to 100 square feet.
Yeah. All right, and with a maximum, and that's per caster level. So basically what happens is she goes and cast her freezing sphere on the water.
We just destroyed another ecosystem.
Yeah.
That followed by that. Okay. So Kia invokes her spell. You see a huge ball of ice fly through the air and hit the water. Literally, you see all the water go and just immediately begin to freeze all the way up to the north, all the way down to the south below the bridge.
Jeez.
This entire area here right now is frozen thick.
There, we're good.
Hopefully it wasn't a person. How did you do that?
I heard a whoop.
Yeah, it's a
right.
siren
You
outside my
Somebody
window.
whoop.
And I opened my mouth to say, hold on.
How dare
and,
you whoop? Don't you
And
whoop.
I whooped.
Quit your whooping.
Kia? A little reactionary of you, aren't wasn't it?
And Inguanda, Florida, I think I missed you.
I
Thank you for the follow
definitely
earlier,
heard something
too.
in the water.
But
I'm helping.
That's what Kia's freezing sphere sounds like. Instead of a roar, like when she casts a fireball, you hear. When she casts a freezing spear, you hear. Whoop whoop. Okay, so yeah, that whole section here is frozen solid. It's just a sheet of ice.
It doesn't last too long. We can just cross quickly and then it'll turn to water again. No worries. You're muted, Shay.
You're muted.
I'm not muted.
There you are.
Oh,
Not
you're not
saying
now.
anything.
Hi.
We couldn't hear you before. But
You were like...
That was weird. Alright.
Yeah.
Totally flummoxed. I'm going to turn around and just cross the bridge with hopefully everyone in tow.
right, Beecham kind of follows you, kind of gets on the bridge and stops to kind of look at the frozen river, both sides, in a little bit kind of like in shock and bewilderment. And you hear him quietly saying to himself, "My word."
So, Beecham, a little context here. Do you recall the forest to the northeast of Rockhelm, perchance?
Whoops.
The forest to the northeast. The forest to the northeast.
Yeah, so,
If
past
you don't,
our...
it's okay,
I'm
because
afraid
it
not.
probably isn't there anymore.
I pretty much traveled directly from the abandoned gatehouses straight south to Rockhelm, so I...
Got it. Understood. Well, there used to be a wonderful forest there, and story time. We encountered a rather unsavory individual who we later, came up with an alliance of, the Fey creature, if you will. Our first encounter with him didn't go too well, and Kia over here decided to cast many fireballs in that forest. Which,
I don't want to talk about that. That is not something I discuss openly.
well, Beecham is a part of our family right now. He needs to know these things, so...
Nobody needs to know that, ever.
Kia,
It's
I'm
past.
not-
I've had a trial. I've done my time.
You have, and I'm not casting judgment or any guilt on you. I'm just letting him know that when push came to shove, you burned half of a forest down.
It was an accident.
It was an accident, a total misunderstanding. You're absolutely right.
As cold as it is right now, I wouldn't mind if some of these trees were on fire, to be honest.
Don't.
I'm not going to.
It's part of her new code, which is a wonderful code. I'm going to speak directly where Cal's being held as I say it. Just
Yes,
kinda
number 3. Thou shalt consider all options before fireballing thine enemies.
never once heard Cal talk like that. Then again, I've never heard Cal talk, so.
Yes, he talks in Shakespearean
English.
English, yes.
In fact,
I bite my thumb at thee, Radovan Revere.
Cal actually wrote a cat translated version of the Canterbury Tales for all cat kind. That's a known thing among cats.
It's pretty
of course,
famous.
Not for you. Oh yeah, he's very famous amongst cats.
And look, I meant no malice or badness with telling it. I find the story amusing now in hindsight of everything we've been through. It's how I get my yayas off.
It's
Okay,
not
Kia?
amusing.
Well,
I
we're
spent
gonna
a
take
full year
a-
without fire.
We're going to take a second break so that Marlo and Radovan can visit the little monk and little cleric's room. Okay, so you guys are going to continue following the path. You do so. By now, it's early evening. There's still enough light for you guys to be able to see. The river is way behind you at this point. Let me go ahead and put you on the
Ooh,
map.
cool, man.
The forest is definitely getting more dense by now, which actually helps you to some degree because the wind has picked up a good bit. It's a lot windier here than it was earlier on. I don't want that music anymore, but I do want to lift up the wind effect just a little. Alrighty. Okay. So yeah, you can see that up ahead it looks like, as I said, it's a lot more dense. You can see what I'm talking about with the forest, though, in the fact that while the trees are pretty thick, they don't have much foliage, so you can, to some degree, see through the trees a little bit. And but of course, since it's been snowing so heinously, you are still traipsing, bearing in mind, through about 1.5 feet thick of snow on the ground.
Okay. I'm going to continue to listen intently for any more scary things, like what I heard in the river.
All right, give me a dice roll.
Thank you. Okay. There.
All right. It's very hard to hear anything over the howling wind. Beecham kind of gives you a nudge and says, "We best not get too far behind them."
Right. Sometimes I start listening and forget to walk.
And Beecham is still intently checking behind him. All right. So up ahead there is a definitive fork. You can continue directly following the path to the east, and it also appears to kind of cut southeast as well.
Does any path look like more trodden? Do they look the same?
Well, with the snow being so fresh over the past few days, other than a few animal tracks, it doesn't look like anybody's really been traveling through this pathway for a long period of time.
Cal, can you just go a little in both directions?
Okay.
Or
so you
just
want
go in
Cal
the air
to
a bit?
All right.
Yes.
So yeah, Cal will, with the tree cover, being that he's so kind of small and stealthy, he kind of jumps out, turns into his little pseudo-dragon form, and flies very close to the ground, like, and even then you can kind of see him like getting buffered up and down a little bit.
Okay.
Periodically he like stops, his paws touch down on the snow, and he kind of like pushes himself back off
Gallops.
the ground, and yeah. So he's kind of like going along more like short little bunny
I still
hops
just
than
imagine a
anything
cat
else.
with dragon wings.
Right. Okay. So he heads up northwards. All right. So Cal, go ahead and give, if he's scouting, I guess give me a spot check for Cal then, please, if he's doing a scouting mission.
Okay.
Obviously, you'll be using Cal's stats.
Yay.
Okay. And I'm going to roll... something as well. Okay, so let's put Cal on the map. I don't know what... I have a Cal. I don't know why I don't use the Cal more often. Let's have your Cal, because, you know, it's good to have a Cal. There's a Cal. Okay.
Yay!
Little pseudo-dragon Cal. Okay, so you see him disappear off in this direction. He's not gone that long when he comes very hastily back, fluttering down and landing on Kia's shoulder, transforming himself back into the cat and sliding straight back down in the bag. He says, "There's things up there hiding in the trees. I saw them. Little things, bigger than me, but smaller than you."
Was there fur on these things?
Says, "One of them was covered in green, and the other one was covered in brown.
Did they look scary?
Very scary. I don't trust them.
Did it look like they were waiting for us?
I think so, and I think they might have seen me."
Oh, okay. Thank you, Cal. I'm going to say, guys. Cal said there's something ahead smaller than me, but bigger than him. Brown and green. Hiding behind the trees up ahead. What should we do?
At this, Radovant's immediately going to cast Magic Vestment on himself.
Okay.
Good idea. And I'm going to cast Mage Armor on myself. Would you guys like to maybe go invisible? Try to just pass by them? They'll see our footprints, I'm sure, though.
And they'll probably hear us. Our footsteps are not exactly quiet, you know?
I know, but it'd be harder for them to attack us. If they do intend on attacking, that is.
Is that the direction we need to go?
I don't know.
Well, Cal never had a chance to check out the other side, so that was...
Let's just kill it.
Eastwards.
We don't know if it's dangerous yet.
Well, let's
Cal
kill
says,
it if it's dangerous.
It's not an it, it's a them.
Then
Let's kill them if they're dangerous.
I say we just try to sneak past them. Or perhaps we could just take this road here.
What if they follow us?
We'll find out what they want, and if they want to kill us, we'll kill them.
We don't know the name of the next village over, do we?
No, no one asked.
I thought I did. That was like the one question I was like, wait!
We did ask, but I don't think we got an answer.
Who did you ask?
Who did we ask?
Yeah.
Probably the wrong person.
We asked the blacksmith guy, but then his answer to us was, "I've never traveled further east than here."
Right, yeah, that's what I mean. So you didn't actually really ask anybody that was able to give you an answer, right?
Okay.
So wait, this way is north
No,
or
that would be
east?
east.
That's what I thought. Okay,
But this
Just
kind
making
of,
sure.
this curves around, as you can see, and kind of sort of goes southeast. So they both sort of head in the same direction.
I'm going to say, Cal, can you check out the other path?
All right.
Please?
We will do so.
Yes. Unhappily.
Oh, and I don't know what happened there. Oh, yes, I do. There. It's glitching on me.
Uh-oh.
There. Stop it. Okay, thank you. Right. Okay, yeah, so he heads that way. I guess give me a spot check for him down that way.
Okay. Spot.
And all right, okay. He comes flying back. Now, in the time he has taken to do that, I want you guys to to all give me a spot check.
Oh shoot! I didn't pull up my character sheet. Hold on.
I guess that means Kia takes one too. Okay.
Okay, with a 15 rather than 11. And Marlo with a... Okay, so
Really
Kia with a
bad one.
19, 11. Okay. Right, okay, you're kind of like watching, waiting for Cal to return. And you start to see something begin to rustle and move in amongst some of these
Oh, great.
trees here. Like, whatever it was that Cal had seen possibly has moved up and acquired itself a better position. And no doubt, as you guys all stand there in the middle of the path, that there's a very high likelihood that it can see you or knows that you're there.
Okay.
So I am going to turn to Beecham, and I'm going to say, can I see your sword for a second?
Certainly, if you think this is an appropriate time to examine my weapon.
So I'm gonna.
He pulls out his sword, which is basically like a rapier.
I'm gonna cast magic weapon greater on it.
Ooh. Okay.
And I'm gonna say to him, "It looks like we're about to be ambushed.
And
This
I
will
don't want
help
you to
you."
be completely useless.
And I'd rather you be able to at least fight your way out of a paper
Well,
bag.
no, but to be fair, Beecham, we have encountered some things in the past that are a little resistant to conventional weapons. So this will give you a little bit of extra sting, if you will.
Right, so he kind of like holds his sword and he's turning it left and right. He says, "It feels quite the same. Should it have done anything?"
It'll boost your ability to deal damage and score hits, if you will.
Oh, okay.
It's a magic weapon.
It
spell.
definitely feels more balanced and lighter. Perhaps that's... Oh, I see what you mean. Yes, oh, quite. And he starts, like, swishing it around just a little bit. Okay, so Cal comes flying back and lands, and he says, "I didn't see anything, but I heard something down that road, too. It was crashing around in the forest. It was making a hell of a noise."
Okay. Alright. Come back in the back. It's okay.
Right,
We'll take care of this.
Okay.
We need to... There's something in that direction too. Something big.
So we're gonna deal with whatever's coming towards us. There's probably gonna be many of them, which means any spread out attacks you can do, we do.
Sure.
Keep your eyes on your flanks, and I'm gonna, as I say this, I'm gonna look this way and draw my mace.
Okay.
Does anyone want to go invisible before I leave this area?
No, thank you, Miss Kia. I
Beecham?
turned into Cordelia there for a second. No, thank you, Kia.
I'd rather not. I think I'd feel a little bit strange not being able to look down and see myself.
You can see yourself. People just can't see you.
Oh, well, I'm sure I'll be fine.
Yep. Save your powers. We might need them later on.
Fine.
And with that, he kind of like tucks himself in behind this tree trunk.
Okay.
And
Now
I'm
we're
gonna
just
reach
scoot
out.
on.
Yeah. Oh, I was actually gonna reach out and push you.
Over
What?
into the snow.
Push me over.
No, I was gonna push you like further here and not into the woods where you might get attacked.
Into the woods.
Into the woods.
And then I'm gonna stand here and I'm just gonna be watching this section alert.
Okay. Alright, give me another spot check.
Hey.
I don't like the whispers. I want to applaud people when they get good rolls. Especially if it's a 20.
Yeah, well, if it was a 20, we'd celebrate.
All right. Okay. All of you are able to see in and amongst these small frozen bushes here what appears to be some things moving. You catch a glimpse of green material, like green cloth, like that of a cloak, and then also a glimpse of one right behind it that is brown.
So I'm just going to say, attacking us or being hostile in any way will be your undoing. I highly suggest you stop.
Okay, when you say that, whatever the movement was, it does stop.
We are just passing through. We mean no harm, but we will kill anything that threatens us.
All right. With that, two small humanoid figures emerge from the bushes, each one holding a short bow trained and pointed on you.
Huh.
They kind of
Like-
emerge out. They're lightly green-skinned. They have almost kind of like large oval-like heads, and their mouths are considerably larger than
Other-
should be for their body types. Or their body types. They've got little red beady eyes, and they kind of like skulk out with their bows pointing in your direction.
Are they goblins or?
Are
Yeah.
they children?
They look goblin-ish, but they're definitely a different ilk of goblin than you're used to seeing.
Can we do like a knowledge, any kind of knowledge check?
sure.
Nature or
Got,
something?
No, it'd be knowledge dungeon or
Dungeon. Okay. I got that. Or, unless I have something better. I'll do dungeon.
okay. Okay, you're pretty sure that they are some breed of goblin, but they're clearly a different tribe or type than what you're used to seeing.
Oh, I'm gonna go goblins. Weird goblins. I've never seen these type.
Does any of you speak goblin?
I
No.
speak wonderful. No. And I don't have any comprehend language prepared. God damn it. Damn you, Cuthbert.
Hey, you just didn't ask him. Don't blame him.
Hello.
Okay.
We come in
they-
peace, if you do.
They continue to stare at you with their weapons trained and slowly take a couple of footsteps further out of the edge into the clearing to where they can be seen. So if none of you can understand Goblin, one of them
Thanks,
says to
Flat
you,
Man.
kind of as he stands there, you hear him say,
Eater!
and the other one says,
Eater!
So I'm going to actually speak in Elvish and Dwarvish, which is the only other languages I know, and just say, we just wish to pass. We just wish to go further east to the next settlements, but we will defend ourselves if we have to.
okay. He
And I'm going to
They-
keep my
they
eyes
listen
on the
to
other
you,
fort.
and then they like move in really close, so their hoods are right up to each other, touching, and you hear him. You kind of see him whispering amongst each other. I would say you can roll, but it really doesn't matter because you won't understand what they say. So,
Right.
okay, with that,
I don't
they
want to hear you
stop.
speak Goblin, though.
I do too.
And the one in the green cloak says,
Hello?
Was that in common? No,
Might
I
just be
mean,
mimicking Kia.
Probably. Hello. How are you?
Peaceful.
I
Oh.
Gizzletruck.
You speak common.
Gizzard-track.
I words human.
What?
He words human.
Truck.
Hello.
So there's Mack truck and hammer truck?
Might you lower your weapons?
I am
Please.
Gizzle Truck.
Gives a truck.
Cool. Please lower your bow and arrow. We come in peace.
I
We are
am
just passing
Marlo.
through.
Radavan.
Okay, they lean in and whisper to each other again in Goblin.
Kia.
You see, Braslonk? Braslonk, you see, Braslonk?
Bradlock, a friend of yours? And I'm gonna like gesture low to the ground to kind of
Friend? Leader?
Braslonk.
And he
Grizzlock?
kind of like motions the same way Radovan did, like in the height sort of thing.
No, but there's something that way, and I'm gonna point down the path that.
Big.
And they kind of look at each
Stomping.
other. You suddenly see their eyes light up, and they start whispering once again. This time they're whispering excitedly. You can hear them, you just don't understand them.
Maybe we go that way and help them find their leader?
With that, you hear the other one that he called Amog Trug go,
Help. He said help. He said help.
the other one looks at you, and Gizzletrug says,
You help us catch Braslonk?
Who's
Who's Braslock?
is Brazlock friend or enemy?
He wants us to help him catch it. I'm thinking it's a thing.
Well, we go to Goblin Conclave. Grand Shaman Swiftleaf Nog shows all new magic. New protection magic to help make Goblin tribes great again.
I see.
the other one says,
Braslog was volunteer, and Sweatleaf Nog cast magic and gave Braslog great big drinky.
the other one looks at me and says,
Oh.
Then Braslog went all power, all strong, and all cheer, all goblin cheer. He came home to cave, but Braslog was going funny. And he grew an extra arm,
Ooh.
and his left eye got bigger.
He turned into
And
a tyrant.
He
Shit,
bashed
the T-virus.
some of the kin and ran south.
We can help with that.
Best runners.
Just hold on one second, and I'm gonna turn and say, do we want goblins to gain power and do things, become great?
I don't think that's what they're asking us
No.
to help them find Braslock.
I understand that.
An
But,
experiment gone wrong.
no, I get that, but they did mention a conclave, so there's obviously more than. I mean, obviously there's more than. But
That's fine.
what if
They're
they decide
goblins.
to? What if they decide to like raid a human caravan or something?
What if they just want to protect themselves? I don't have anything
Well-
against them becoming stronger.
Yes, we don't. I'm sure they need.
everybody give me a listen check. Because you can hear them talking, but they're actually talking in common at this point to each other.
Okay. I love your voices, Core.
Oh man, they're so good.
Let's see.
You spoil us with those voices.
I know.
All right, so pretty much
Oh.
all of you, I'm going to tell you what you hear. Okay.
That was me.
All right, so 15. So Kia and Radovan, you heard them say something about the big teeth. You hear, Marlo, you heard a little bit more. They said something about,
If they're nice and help us, we should warn them about the big teeth.
I think we should help them.
I think so too.
they
It's
they
part of
kind
my
scuttle
code.
forward like 10 feet really quickly, like, shh, just run forward just a fraction.
They don't seem malicious. They just want to protect their kind.
Number 10 of the commandments, thou shalt be fair in all thy dealings with all races, even orcs, even goblins.
If you help us find and catch Braslunk,
Okay.
we will tell you about the big teeth.
The big teeth.
And
After you help with Braslunk.
so you want us to capture this Braslok, not kill him, correct?
As you say that, or as you hear that, suddenly you hear a from behind you, coming from this direction, and you suddenly hear as if something's crashing its way through the trees. A goblin creature that looks similar to them, but somehow larger. As they described it, it has a third arm growing out of its chest. It has a weapon in each arm, and its left eye is huge. It's like grown to the size of, probably bigger than a golf ball, whereas their other eyes are small and beady.
Okay, so we don't kill unless we have to.
Oh, I don't
Let's
know. Nothing
try
wants to
to-
kill us.
There.
Ah!
Incapacitate.
You see it briefly?
Incapacitate it.
Why is this not staying up like it's supposed to? Oh, and now he's teleporting. Holy crap, he's got new
Oh,
abilities.
he can teleport.
Magic.
Let me try that once more. Yeah, I don't know what is going on. It's supposed to. If I hit... There we go. You see him?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah. Basically, he's got like a bone scimitar in one hand, a hand axe, and a short spear. Okay, it's charging out with its tongue hanging out, looking all psychotic. Beecham
Look out,
is the
Beecham!
first thing that it sees it. He spins around in shock and kind of surprise, holding his rapier in one hand, and you just hear him say, "Oh, bloody hell!" as the thing runs straight at him.
Don't kill it!
And it's going to make attacks on Beecham.
That's so funny. I love it.
Ooh,
It hits him 3 times.
Jeez.
holy shit.
Chum, what are you doing?
So that'll be...
It appeared to be getting his ass handed to him.
Beat him.
All right, this goblin literally just goes to work on Beecham, hacking away with all weapons at an incredible speed. He's trying his best to fend this thing off, but it's like just diving in around his legs and hacking away with the weapons, smashes into his thigh with his hand axe, thrusts the short spear into his right thigh as he's like, ah! And then it like hacks him in the shoulder with the scimitar, and then it like jumps up and down a couple of times, is going, like the thing is losing its mind. It's gone totally psychotic.
Gore. Oh my god, someone please clip Gore's expressions.
Okay,
Doing
too
that.
late. All right. Beecham says, "If we're not gonna kill it, what the bloody hell are we gonna do with it?"
I have an idea.
All right.
And then
Well,
I'll try to-
let's start with everybody giving me an initiative
Yeah.
check, because that's possibly going to be needed at some point tonight.
Gore, you diabolical bastard.
All right. So Marlowe, 18. Kia, 15. Rado with a 9. Let's roll for Mr. Beecham. Beecham is, a 19. It's actually first. Right, let's try Gizzletrug and Amogtrug and see where they're at. They're on an 18.
Wow.
And let's try and roll for our little friend.
The goblin tyrant.
Who is going to go on a 24. What are the odds of that?
Jeez.
Natural 20!
All right. Okay, so yeah, his surprise attack, he comes out and wades into Beecham. Beecham doesn't react. As I said, he's kind of surprised and in shock. The only thing he does is kind of like fall back a couple of feet. However, by the time you guys have all realized and positioned yourselves and kind of gathered around your senses, this thing presses the attack again and once again charges, hacking away at Beecham for a second time.
Ouch. Ouch. Oh my god.
Ooh.
You rolled 3 14s in a row, Gore. Just FYI.
This happens, right? All right. 26.
Oh my God.
Okay, Beecham is a bloody mess. The thing hacks him in the hand axe hits him in the side, and you hear a loud crack. You're sure it just broke a rib. As he winces in pain and pulls his sword arm in to kind of cover himself, it sticks the spear into the arm that he was shielding himself with. Jammer time! Thanks for the resub, my friend. Much love. Spam your hype and spam your rollies. And then to finish it off, it brings its scimitar quick and sharp right down low, which hits Beecham just below the knee. He collapses down on one leg. The snow is covered in blood.
Shit.
Wow. Beecham!
All right. It is his turn to retaliate. Doing little more than the ability to react to that, he just thrusts his rapier forward at the thing.
Remember, it's a +4 to hit.
And plus
4
okay,
damage.
40. So he hits it. All right. And he does how much damage? Bonus?
4. It's 4 and 4.
Okay. Then he's getting +8. All right. He's like and lunges forward. It kind of sinks in to the meaty, fleshy part of the creature's side, drawing blood, but hasn't obviously hit any vital organs or anything like that. So he has done 11 points of damage to it. Right. Giztrog and Amtrog are jumping up and down, screaming, "Move out of the way! Move out of the way!" as they're trying to get shots off with their bow, but all of you guys are pretty much like a wall between them and the goblin, so they can't see it, so they're going to hold their action. Marlo, what do you want to do?
I am going to rush him and try my best to lay his ass out, non-lethally. Just right for the jaw.
Okay, so you're basically going to be doing punch damage, but you're choosing it to be non-lethal?
Yeah.
J Polk, thanks for follow, buddy. Okay. Go for it.
Oh my god, which one? I can't do flurry of blows, so...
Then it would either be just a single attack, or...
Well, can't you move?
Full attack.
It's 5 feet, right? So you can change to a full... Oh, it's more than that. Thanks.
Yeah, just a little bit more.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah,
have
so,
to, you just have to make a single attack then. No, or a...
Yeah, I'm gonna take a run to right in between him and Beecham, actually.
Okay, so you're going to position yourself between him and Beecham. Okay. And then try to swing at the guy.
Yes.
Go right ahead.
And I'm in a snake style.
All right.
No flank, no power attack. Shit, I accidentally...
Fear the bat. Thank you for the follow, buddy.
Sorry guys, I missed one of my prompts.
Yeah, monk.
-1.
All the macros on a monk attacker, it's a lot, because there's like 5 different things you have to select from. All right.
Oh, are you
28.
fucking me right now?
Probably not, but... Alright, so you hit him for 7 points of non-lethal. Alright, you smack the goblin with a... kind of like jab him real hard straight in the side of the head. And it just kind of looks at you with its one big eye, just starts to twitch, just like... twitching a little bit. But it seems to be working itself up into some kind of like psychotic frenzy.
Disarm it.
Kia!
Yes,
What
I
would you
say,
like to do?
everybody, just calm down. And I attempt to cast Force Cage.
Alright.
Information.
Okay, this is one of these
Windowless
subtle
cell.
moments as you hear, as the magic comes flying out of your hands and you see this spectral cage begin to form in the air, you hear Gizzletrug and Amogtrug both scream at the same time. Alright, as the magic hits the creature, a force cage does not appear. However, he is now growing. He is about the size of you guys. He is glowing green with a pulsating thing like boom, boom, boom. It's like he's turned into the goblin version of the Incredible Hulk, and he has got like a glowing radiance around him. The cage
Mr.
that you
X.
cast is turned into like metal bars that have become armor, like it's molded itself into armor around his form.
I'm gonna back the hell up like 30
The
feet.
Pixel Crusher, thanks for the
Okay,
follow, dude.
Good job, Kia. Appreciate it.
Oh god, what's happening? And I'm gonna run this
I love a good challenge.
So I'm going to. Can I do a knowledge arcana? I mean, I kind of know what happened, but I kind of want to know
Sure.
super
Make a
specifically.
knowledge arcana check if you want.
I mean, it's pretty obvious what happened. I just want to make sure I kind of know.
What
some
do you
ins and
think
outs.
happened?
He obviously gets stronger with magic attacks, but the question is, what kind of magic attacks? Is it just magical spellcasts or magical weapons?
I would
or...
say that, yeah, your assumption is obviously correct, that casting that spell on him was bad. The goblins clearly knew that casting magic on him was bad, and they obviously didn't know
Now-
what Kia was casting, so...
So I guess what it is about is when Beecham hit him, that was a magically imbued weapon. Did it
Right.
hurt the thing, or did it make it stronger?
No, he got a cut. He had blood
Okay.
dripping down.
Okay.
But that wasn't a spell. That was the magic was on
That's
the
what I
weapon.
want to make sure I know the difference.
Yeah.
So, okay, cool.
All right.
thank you.
So, with that being said, what does Radovan want to do, seeing that this thing is now a good 7 foot tall, glowing green, and has like metal? It's got like crystalline, ethereal bars, like it's almost like an ethereal magical cage wrapped around his body, acting as some form of like magical armor or something like that.
So I'm gonna do what I was planning to do, save Beecham.
Okay.
But as I do that, I'm gonna say,
Hashtag
Marlo,
save Beecham.
hold out one round. We gotta lay into it with physical attacks to kill, no spell casts on it, because that doesn't seem to work. And I'm gonna cast Cure Critical as I.
Oh, well, let me put my magic spells away.
I'm just saying that for everybody. I'm saying that for everybody. So Beecham gets 28 health back.
And that was cure. Okay, that was a
Critical.
cure critical. Okay.
So-
Alrighty. So Beecham is very grateful and no longer pissing blood all over the frosty snow. All right. With that, it would now be Brazlunk's turn to act. Brazlunk now being considerably larger and considerably bigger and considerably more heinous, as Brazlunk's twitching eye that as he was looking at Marlowe, the huge big eye that was twitching has it's now instead of it just being red, it is now like glowing red, like pulsating, like kind of like a Cyberman. I mean, not a Cyberman, like a Cylon with his huge big glowing red eye. As it's like and raising its arms in screaming panic, as it then begins to
That's an
charge
anime.
forward, whirling its arms towards Marlowe with like a whirling dervish, as the weapons, which also seem to have grown along with the same sort of size, so they are no longer small weapons, they are now regular sized weapons as well, comes whirling towards Marlowe, ready to strike. And we'll leave it right there. And we will pick it up on the next show. Hi there, I'm Gorbad. Welcome to the Orc's Nest. I'm the Dungeon Master here on How We Roll, and if you'd like to follow me personally, you can do so on Twitter @Gorbad. Check out thedmblog.com for all things Dungeon Master and Dungeons and Dragons related. And of course, you can follow me on twitch.tv/Gorbad. Also, guys, don't forget to keep up with all things How We Roll. Follow us on Twitter @HowWeRoll. Check out the website www.howweroll.com, and make sure you follow us on YouTube as well. Cheers, guys.
Shagget here. On How We Roll, I play Radovan Rainier, War Priest of St. Cuthbert, who just so happened to author a new academic book that's coming soon. It's titled Libido Rectification for the Required Propagation of Arconis' Depleted Men-at-Arms. Or more affectionately titled, Mandate Number 2, and You. You can follow me on Twitter at @aneb_convos for upcoming book excerpts. Just to get the hype going, push up the sales. Thanks, guys.
Hey guys, I'm the Dragon Spooker, and I play Marlo Raphael, monk and resident badass for How We Roll. If you want to follow me on Twitter, you can do so using @DragonSpooker, or follow my Twitch channel, which I sometimes stream on, twitch.tv/TheDragonSpooker.
Hi, thanks for watching another episode of How We Roll. I am Jane Ivana, and this is my lovely cat, Norman, who really doesn't want to be here right now. You can follow me on Twitter, @JaneOnTwitch with a 0. Shh, don't tell him, he doesn't like birds. No. I stream occasionally on twitch.tv/Jane Ivana, so you can find me there. And I guess that's all we got. You got something to say? Nope. Peace, suckers. Bye.